Okay, guys, let's get on our next run. We're going from Jonesboro, Arkansas to Kansas City. Short run, 400 miles. And today I think I'll listen to an old Doberman Dan training on writing advertisements. You can learn a lot from the old stuff. Let me get it started.
Hi, Doberman Dan here. I've got something very special for you today that I think you're going to be able to discover some really good secrets on how to enter hot markets and get a product going as quickly as possible and make a lot of money if you choose to. Also, I'm proving that I'm not such a Luddite, in spite of what Ben Settle and Caleb Osborne say about me. I do know how to use technology. So this is the first time I'm trying this. This is a little program called ScreenFlow for the Mac to make this little video. So take that, Ben and Caleb, huh? Anyway,
Okay,
before my first teleseminar a couple weeks ago, I asked for questions. The two questions I got over and over again were, how do you find hot markets and people with money burning a hole in their pocket, and how do you develop products for them? And the second question was, how would I start today if I had to start all over again in finding a really hot market and developing a product for it? And I taught that on the teleseminar, which if you haven't checked yet, you really need to check out. I've provided a transcription here on the website, and also there's a replay of the audio. But basically, what I said was, find a hot market was find somebody who's already selling in a market that has a successful ad that's been running for a while. Basically, find the holes in the copy and find the holes in the product, improve the copy, improve the product, and there you go. You've got better copy and a better product in a hot market. So, not but 2 days after that teleseminar, I'm looking through Guitar Player magazine, and I come across this ad that I've seen running month after month for decades. In fact, this ad has been running month after month in not only Guitar Player magazine, but probably 7 other musician magazines for 28 years. Now, how do I know that? Well, first of all, because I've been reading Guitar Player magazine since the late 70s, and I've been seeing this ad every single month since the late 70s. And also, another reason I know that, testing your powers of observation here, is because it says right up at the top, the #1 world best-selling ear training method for 28 years. 28 years, month after month, proves that this is an extremely hot product for a very hot market. So, what this guy's selling is an ear training course. And I'm going to go over a few things that stick out to me about the copy. First of all, I'll tell you this, that when this runs in a Guitar Player magazine, they always use, not always, but most of the time they use a graphic of a guy playing guitar. I've seen it running in other magazines with a graphic of somebody playing piano or some other instrument. It's in Bass Player magazine, it's a guy playing the bass. So that's one thing they do to kind of target it to each publication. Here it is. We bet you will hear with perfect pitch. Once you learn the secret of color hearing. That's his hook. He's come up with a method that he talks about color hearing, which is you hear a pitch, you associate that pitch with a color, and based on that you can identify you can identify the pitch, you can identify what note it is, or if it's a series of notes, what intervals they are. So, you know what? I'm going to make this display one page at a time so maybe you can see it a little bit better. I won't go into all the copy. You know what I'll do? I'll provide this on the site as a PDF you can download so you can read this yourself. Obviously, this ad is successful. I can't really critique the copy, but I can tell you one thing, one big hole I think he's missing, and what I would do if I were going to go into this, I think what I'd hit real hard on is comparing buying this course to attending a music university. You know, you have to get, in the university, you get all bogged down in the study of theory and harmony, and, you know, it takes you years to understand that, whereas in this ear training course, you basically cut through all that and get that information right away instead of spending years studying theory and harmony. And another big hole I think that he's missing is musicians want to be able to improvise freely, and they want to be able to play on their instrument what's in their head, and that's why they study theory and harmony, to learn those things so they can play what they're hearing in their head. But still, a lot of people still can't do that even after years of studying theory and harmony. So I think the point I'd hit real hard was, like I said, instead of getting bogged down in years of studying theory, you know, you'll learn to have perfect pitch and identify notes. You'll be able to hear, you'll be able to play exactly what you hear in your head. So you won't be struggling and fumbling for notes anymore when you're improvising. He kind of hit that one point in the copy, but not as hard as I would hit it, because that is a huge hot button for musicians, being able to play on their instrument what they hear in their head. By the way, this is a project I'm seriously considering doing myself, and in a minute I'll tell you exactly how I will do that and how you can do it. In fact, if you beat me to the punch on this, more power to you. If somebody is serious about pursuing this project, I might even help you. Here's the product. I have not ordered the product yet, but it's 8 audio CDs with 2 bonus CDs. Make this a little bit bigger. Something that I've noticed recently, before I only noticed there was one payment method, one payment of $119. Now I notice he's offering 4 payments, $29.75, 10 payments of $11.90. So that's fairly new, and it'd be real interesting to know which of those 3 payment methods is the most popular. I would really like to test a 30-day hold on this. Gary Halbert always taught that selling a product on a 30-day hold will triple sales and double your refund rate, which I have found that out to be true. So if you can deal with a higher refund rate, you can deal with what I call the mooch factor. You know, basically the losers who order that with the intention of returning it or with the intention of not paying it, if it works for your numbers, it really can greatly increase sales. And if I were to test that in one of the ads, I'd feature it right up here in the headline, or you know, maybe in the lead or in the subhead. You know, the subhead here. You know, you will hear with perfect pitch and be able to play exactly what you hear in your head, and try it free for 30 days, or you know, try it on us for 30 days. Speaking of improvising, I'm improvising right now with my copy. But that's one thing I would test. Another thing, here I'm going to tell you exactly how to develop this product and how to improve upon this product. First of all, if you're not a musician, you need to find some talent. And I would search at a university and hit up one of the professors there and use him as your talent, or a music teacher in your area who understands this stuff, that can talk about you know, ear training and how to identify pitches, and then how to apply that to your instrument so you can play on your instrument what you're hearing in your head, and be able to improvise, you know, without spending 8 years studying theory. And once you find that guy, pay him a flat fee to record some audios. You can do that on a conference call line, or just, you know, take your computer and slap it in front of him at the university, and hit the record button. And I would also record, a few DVDs too. So now all of a sudden it's not just an audio course, it is a DVD course also, where he can demonstrate things on the piano or guitar or whatever. And then have the audios transcribed, and there's your manual. And so you've improved on the product. If you get somebody from, it's not just an audio course, now it's audio and video. And if you get somebody from a real prestigious university like Berklee College of Music or something like that, or Musicians Institute out in LA, you can really talk up the guy's credibility in your ad. So there, I've picked what I feel are some of the biggest holes in the copy. I've told you how to improve the product. I've given you a method that will probably triple your sales, that is selling it on a 30-day hold. And this could be an extremely profitable project. I mean, you can't get much more proof than almost 3 decades of running in a bunch of different magazines month after month. One more thing, it's going to be real easy to figure out where you need to advertise this. All you need to do is pick up every single musician's magazine and look through it. And every magazine that this ad is running in is the magazine that you want to run your ad in. So there you go. Basically, I've given you a project that could make you multiple millions of dollars. Hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate you come back to the site, and I'll keep some good stuff coming for you. I'm really enjoying putting this together, and I really appreciate your comments on the blog here. So thanks again, and Doberman Dan signing out. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Alright, we're at the scale. I hope you learned a little bit in that Doberman Dan training. He's a good guy to follow. He's been a copywriter for years and years. You can still find a lot of good stuff from him. Let me see if I have something else I can listen to now. 1 second.
got to know as a warm, caring individual. But more importantly, he is truly an expert when it comes to several categories. One, he's one of the top nutritional supplement copywriters in the world. Number two, he owns and runs his own nutritional supplement company. And number three, so I don't know if you can hire him. When I say he's a copywriter, I probably can't hire him because he does his own stuff, does his own thing. And number three, he's also one of the foremost experts in direct mail as it relates to nutritional supplement businesses. So I'd like to introduce my friend and also one of my instructors and a gentleman that I met through Gary Albert. So I have many things to thank Gary Albert for. Dan Gallipo.
No overheads today. Brock likes to say I'm an old school guy, which is kind of true. I tried cramming these papers in this slot on that Macintosh to get them up here on there, but it didn't work. So, I am Dan Gallipo, better known as Doberman Dan. I met both Buck and Brock at, like they were saying, at Gary Howard's root canal seminar. Anybody want to hear some funny stories about your hosts before we get started? So I got dirt on both of them, so now they're sweating. So Brock came up, we were doing hot seats, if anybody knows what a hot seat is. You know, people come up from the seminar, participants, and they state whatever, you know, they'd like to improve in their business or problems they have to see if the panel can help them. So Brock comes up, nobody knew who he was. And this young guy comes up there, and Gary starts grilling him about, you know, what are you doing, what are you selling, blah, 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 blah. You know, and Brock's saying, you know, I think my copy sucks. I really think I need better copy. Gary's like, okay, well, tell me about your business. He's like, well, you know, I think we're moving about, I think he said like 50,000 bottles of product a month at $49.95. You could hear this collective hush over the audience, you know. And I think Gary pretty much just sent him on like, keep doing what you're doing. So there wasn't much he could tell him. So I thought, I got to find out what this guy knows. So I kept calling him and emailing him, bugging him. And he invited me down to his office. And he's like, yeah, I want to show you this stuff because my copy just really sucks. And it's horrible, you know, maybe you can help me. He said, I paid this copywriter, I won't mention his name, but he's a pretty famous copywriter. I paid him like, was it like 35 or 40 grand or something to write a series of letters. He's like, yeah, you know, this converted at X percent. I don't remember what it was. It was good. In my opinion, it was, you know, it was good. And I'm like, yeah, that's great, man. That guy's a great copywriter. He goes, yeah, my copy sucks, but here's my copy. He hands me his copy. He's pointing out everything that's wrong about it and it needs improved. I'm like, well, okay, what did your copy convert at? He's like, like 27%. You know, it's like, okay, keep writing that sucky copy. I'm thinking, wow, I hope my copy sucks that bad. And then Buck and I went to a seminar, was it last year? In San Diego. I don't know if I should share this or not because, oh, okay, I'll go ahead and share it. Well, so we're sitting next to each other, and this seminar was like a pitch fest. Every person that came up, you know, would speak on their topic, whatever it was. You know, like this guy, this speaker A is coming up to speak on how to use flying monkeys to increase your sales. You know, like, they get you all hyped up, and they have PowerPoints like, with only 10 flying monkeys, you know, and you can pay a minimum wage, you know, you're going to increase your sales. They get you all excited, and then like, oh, look at the time, doggone it. I don't have time to get into telling you exactly how to use the flying monkeys, but, and then they start passing out the order forms. I have my flying monkey marketing course, and for a mere $2,500, you can buy that today. And anyway, every single speaker was like that. And they pass this stuff down, and I look at it, because I'm in my frugal phase right now. And I look at it, pass it on to Buck, and he starts filling it out. He's, oh man, this is good, I'm buying this. Next speaker comes up, hey, I got a blah, blah, blah course, blah, blah. It's only $5,000. They pass it on, pass my order form down to Buck, he's filling it out. I think, honest to God, every speaker who showed up that was pitching something, he bought their stuff. And here's what I thought. I was happy. I thought, oh man, I got my plan B right now. When I fall on hard times again, all I have to do is every month, I'm gonna develop a $5,000 info product, and I got a mailing list of one. Him. These guys are great, man. These two guys are some of the best marketing minds that I've had an opportunity to hang around. Friday night, we're hanging out with Joanne and talking about her menopause product. And a little earlier in the evening, I had introduced them to a brand new health tonic that increases creativity, gives you a feeling of relaxation. It's called a Long Island iced tea. And so after several of those, like at first the ideas are really good, and she was actually taking notes like, oh boy, this is great. And then it started going down real fast when he comes up with, I got it, this is how you're gonna get publicity. We're gonna come up with a spokesperson. It's gonna be menopause woman. Or we're gonna put her in a superhero outfit. And then Michael Lovitch pipes in, yeah, and her secret weapon, her special weapon is going to be this gun she shoots you with, and it gives you mood swings and hot flashes. Oh my God.
You're laughing now.
And these are the guys you're learning from. No, the title of my talk today is How to Double Your Sales in 59 Days or Less. Can I have a show of hands? How many people actively have a business right now, either online or through direct mail or whatever, magazine ads? Okay. Okay, so who would be interested? Those who don't, who are still in process of getting your business together, would you still be interested in learning how to double your sales in 59 days or less? Okay. Well, let me give you an example. The stuff they're teaching is awesome, and most internet marketers, you're not going to learn this stuff that you're learning from these guys, because most internet marketers that I seem to see online are really stuck in a box. All they focus on is the internet, and the internet is not a business. The internet is a medium, and it's a good medium. I started back before the internet was the World Wide Web. I didn't even know what it was. I had to start the old-fashioned way. With magazine ads, newspaper ads, direct mail, you know, run an ad in a magazine, wait 3 months to see if it's even going to work. And so the internet is a great medium, but it's only one media. If you're successful on the web, then, well, like Gary Halbert told me. Gary Halbert, I had got seduced by the web back in early 2000 and kind of had abandoned my offline stuff, and which was a monumental mistake. But Gary Howard asked me, well, what are you doing online? I told him how much a month I was selling. He said, well, you're does anybody know who Gary Howard is? There's a multi-million-dollar direct marketing information at thegaryhalbertletter.com. Like Buck was saying, he was recognized as probably one of the most successful copywriters ever. But all his newsletters that he used to charge for are now online for free. But Gary was fond of calling his subscribers. It was a term of endearment, but he was... Will I get beeped out? Will I get bleeped out? He was fond of calling his subscribers shit weasels. And so he tells us, yeah, he's like, well, what about your offline stuff? How you doing online? I dropped it. Your direct mail? Yeah, I dropped it. All right, so tell me what you're doing online. I told him, he goes, you're a shit weasel. He said, you could probably add a 0 to that if you'd start using offline stuff. It's working online. Now you just need to take it offline. Exactly what Brock was saying earlier today. But that's one thing that I found: most internet marketers are stuck in a box. In fact, I asked one of the biggest sellers of nutritional supplements in the bodybuilding sports nutrition market. They basically wanted to hire me to do a consulting gig, and I told these guys are doing tens of millions of dollars a month, and I said, I'll double your sales in less than 2 months. I'm like, how are you gonna do that? I said, well, I passed him my napkin. I said, here's my consulting fee. As soon as I get that check, and as soon as it clears the bank, I'll be glad to disclose that information. But I decided not to take the gig, and so I gave him the secret for free. And the secret was, send a direct mail pitch to your customer list. And they said, well, why? It's because it's going to at least double your sales. I'm like, well, but we send email. You don't get it, do you? Email. How many people subscribe to e-zines? They want to get the e-zine. They've double opted in. It's something they want to, but yet they delete that email unread. Maybe not every time. Does that happen? When you got 200 messages in your box, are you deleting emails unread? That's what's happened. The emails that make it past the spam filters, you're delusional if you think your customers or prospects are waiting with bated breath to get your email to open it up. No, first of all, a percentage are getting through, and a large percentage are getting deleted. But still, a snail mail letter in the mail is a lot harder to ignore than an email. And if you have something that's successful sent out by email, more than likely, you have to test it, but more than likely it will be even more successful by direct mail. So I tell these guys that, and their response was, we don't keep a database of our customers' snail mails. Let me put it to you this way. Who says they have a business going right now? Okay. What's your name? Kim. Okay. So I'm going to give Kim a gift. I'm going to give Kim a magic table. Okay? Here's the deal with this magic table. Every month on the first of the month, there's going to magically appear $100,000 in coins. Okay? But Kim is only going to take $50,000 of coins off the table. The deal is, if she doesn't take all those coins off the table in 24 hours, whatever she leaves is going to disappear. So she calls me and says, yeah, that magic table's awesome. $100,000 in gold coins appeared. Just like you said. Well, what'd you do? She says, I took $50,000 of coins off. So you left the other $50,000 in coins on the table? Yeah, and they disappeared. Okay, well, all right. I tried to tell you about that. That's okay. Next month, another 100 grand in gold coins is going to appear. So the next month, again, the gold coins appear. She takes half off, leaves the other half on. Every month she does that. What would you think about Kim? Exactly. I'm not going to say the word again, but that's what Gary would call her. And based on my experience, if you're not sending at least monthly a direct mail pitch, I'm talking good old-fashioned paper and ink, hold it in your hand, delivered by the United States Postal Service promotion to your list of past buyers, you're leaving at least 50% of your sales on the table every single month. And if you think I'm making this stuff up, let me tell you, there's a study done by an organization called the International Communications Research Organization. It's a highly respected study amongst direct marketers. These are the big direct marketers like Agora, Philips, Boardroom, who mail tens of millions of pieces of direct mail a month. And this is what they found out. 73% of the consumer market prefers mail for receiving new product and service announcements, promotions, offers, and other information from companies that they do business with, versus 18% who prefer receiving the same content by email. They also found for confidential information such as invoices, statements, bank statements, financial reports, the preference is 86% mail, only 10% email. Another point, 70% prefer mail. When I say mail, I'm talking about good old-fashioned snail mail. Prefer mail for receiving information from companies they are not currently doing business with. And below 10% prefer email for receiving information from companies they are not currently doing business with. Only 31% of consumers say they frequently discard mail unopened. That's mail identified as commercial mail, but they discard it unopened. But 53.2% say they frequently delete such email unopened. The reasons for preferring mail, 45.3% say it's less intrusive, it doesn't interrupt their other activities. 40% say it's more convenient, can easily be saved to read at other times. 30% say it's less high-pressured, lets them arrive at a decision intelligently. 22% says it's descriptive, more descriptive, provides better information. The bottom line is, your customers prefer receiving that information via direct mail. So if you only email, you're kicking against the goats. It's a biblical statement. And compared to email, now it depends. AWeber and these email services, a lot of them have really good deliverability, but the United States Postal Service has really gotten a lot better in their deliverability issues. For example, let's say you send 1,000 pieces. Worst case scenario, 900 pieces arrive. And if we go by this survey, 31% probably get discarded unopened, but that still leaves you with 621 direct mail pitches that have a shot at making a sale. This is a statistic from Dan Kennedy, but he was talking about with some of his clients, they're getting only 20% deliverability rate of their emails. And so he said if you send out 1,000 emails, only 200 are delivered. Based on the survey 53% are deleted unopened. That only leaves you with 94 emails with a shot at making a sale. So which do you think has better odds? 621 in the mail, or whatever it was, 94 by email? So if you're only sending an email, you're missing a lot of your customers. Here's another argument for it. The political fundraising people who pretty much money is no object on the media that they buy and use, they dedicate a majority of their money to direct mail. In fact, this year they will dedicate more than $1 billion with a B to direct mail. And so they asked him why. And one of the top guys at it's called Campaigns and Elections. It's a company that does media buys and basically does stuff for political promotions. He says the use of direct mail will grow based on the ability to micro-target. Micro-targeting is with a list of customers or with a rented list, you can get information, psychographic, demographic information about your customers, which is actually pretty detailed. Their preferences, their beliefs, emotions, religious background, political background. You can customize everything in your direct mail promotion to those people. You can write a different pitch, customized to based on those factors when you micro-target a list. Can I ask a favor? Every time I see like somebody speak and they go over and take a drink of water, it's always really awkward for me because the crowd just stands there and stares, and all you hear there's that uncomfortable pause and there's a glug glug glug. When I take a drink, could I just ask a favor? Could you all just start saying yada 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 yada? Let's try it right now because I want to take a drink. Okay, great. Plus, if I have like a moment, a little brain fart, and I can't remember what to say, instead of me standing here staring and it's that awkward silence, I'm just going to walk over here and you're going to do what? Okay, great. Thanks. One thing I like about direct mail too is I like you can stay under the radar with it. As soon as you have a successful website, or as soon as you start rolling out in newspapers or magazines, you are immediately going to get knocked off by somebody. You know what I mean when I say knocked off? Somebody's going to buy your product, some knockoff artist is going to buy your product, they're going to knock off your formula, they're going to basically knock off your promotion, they're going to know that you run in these particular magazines or these particular newspapers. They're going to start running their ads in those exact same publications. Now, they may get less of a response than you, but it's going to happen. And plus, a successful ad or a successful website, especially in the magazines or newspapers, is also going to bring you to the attention of the various alphabet agencies. Those are the FTC, FDA, FBI, PCP, ATF, IRS, all those alphabet agencies. I don't remember who they are. But with direct mail, you can be mailing millions per month, and nobody even know who you are. The knockoff artists more than likely aren't going to find you. More than likely, it's going to be a lot harder for the alphabet agencies to even know what you're doing. I know people mailing millions of pieces a month, making millions of dollars. Nobody's ever heard of them. They're former subscribers to Gary Howard's letter that started a business on their kitchen table just like he taught, and they're mailing millions of pieces a month. And when a direct mail pitch arrives, there's less distractions. Your email arrives on a computer. Your website's on a computer. The computer is a portal to so many distractions. Your email that arrived number 208. The 207 is a link to a site with hot women. So, you know, they click on 207 and forget about 208 and delete it. Or your website, there's hot women there too that they can be distracted by. But a snail mail letter, a direct mail pitch, there's no distractions there, especially if you do it A pile, B pile. If you know what that is, Gary Howard used to teach that for deliverability and getting your message read, it's always best to make your mail look like what he calls A pile mail. When you get a letter from your aunt, it isn't inkjet print. Well, maybe nowadays it is, but normally it isn't inkjet printed with instead of a stamp and indicia with copy on the outside. It says, "Hey, exciting letter from your aunt inside about her vacation to Maui. Open up now." And it's hand addressed. It's got her return address on the corner card. It's hand addressed to you. It's got a regular stamp on it. So Gary used to teach to get your letter open, make it look like A pile mail. A pile mail is bills, checks, personal mail. B pile mail is mail that is obviously commercial in nature. And if you've ever had a post office box, you see people sort their mail over the wastebasket and start pitching all the commercial mail. So if you send A pile mail, many times your deliverability rate, opening rate, attention to that letter can be even better than email. Let's talk about getting started with direct mail. It's actually really simple. Just a few years ago, in fact, I've got an example. This doesn't have to be complicated. You got a list of past buyers, mail them a sales pitch for a product, for a back-end product. Or mail them a sales pitch again. Hey, I noticed you bought a month ago. Would you be interested in buying that same product again? You might be getting low. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to get in all the fancy stuff that we talked about. It's a simple me-to-you sales pitch. What finally made me realize Gary was right is a few years ago when I had moved back to the States. I was completely broke in December, sitting on an air mattress in an apartment in Miami, and was wondering if I was going to even have money to make the bills. I had a customer list from a business I'd been ignoring while I was doing all this freelance work, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to send a direct mail pitch for a product in the worst month to send direct mail, December, because that's my back was against the wall. This is what I need to do. So I sent it to the printer. It was an ugly sales letter. It was, you know what, the copy was really half-assed. Yes, you don't need a $15,000 copywriter to make money. The copy, it was really half-assed, cranked out. And me and my wife sat on the floor, hand-addressed the envelopes, folded them, stuffed 1,000 in. I dropped them with the post office and prayed. And the response came back was amazing, because it's a list of people. They know you, they trust you, they've already bought from you. So now they're getting a letter from you. They already have this connection with you. And the response had just blew me away. So I sat down and figured it out, wow, over the past 5 years, by not sending direct mail promotions every month to this little list I had of just a couple thousand people of business I had been ignoring, I cheated myself of about $100,000 a year in extra sales. This is from a little side business. I've been sold on it ever since. And I'm on a crusade. Now that Gary's passed away, I don't know if anybody's that is teaching this anymore. Do you? I'm on a crusade. Sometimes I feel like I'm beating my head against the wall. Yeah, email's great, but honest to God, you're leaving 50% of your money on the table every month by not sending a direct mail pitch to your customer list.
Most people that are doing it are just quietly doing it and not sharing it.
That is true. These guys know about it. They're doing it. They are sharing it. But some really big direct marketers are doing it, but they don't want to let the secret out. It is literally the secret to doubling your sales in 59 days or less. That's a lie. Actually, it will probably be in 30 days or less. It'll probably be in 2 weeks after sending your letter. Do you want me to pass out the letter that I sent when I was broke with no furniture?
I'm not sure that they want. They got a lot to carry home.
Okay, forget it. This is an.
Yeah, let's hand those out.
Amor, ¿quieres pasar la promoción a cada mes, por favor?
Okay.
I said, hey, gringo. This is here to show you I'm not too proud to show you copy that sucks. There are so many things wrong with this piece of copy that I would never do this today. But like I said, my back was against the wall and I cranked something out fast. This was the copy I sent out when I was broke, sitting on a floor in Miami with no furniture and no money to pay my rent. This is what I said. It was even uglier than what you're getting now. It was on goldenrod paper because the printer gave me a discount on it because he wanted to get rid of it. It was so ugly. So if I'm gonna be around, I gotta cut it off now. But I'm gonna be around all night tonight. I am here to serve. I no longer take consulting or copywriting clients. You cannot hire me. I have nothing to sell. I am here. Thank you. I'm here.
All right, get off the stage.
Sorry. I have nothing to sell to you. I do have an order form specifically for Buck, though. No, I'm here to serve. I don't exactly know how I can do that. You can better tell me. But I'll be available all evening. If I can help you with your copy, if I can help you, strategizing for getting your direct mail going, that's what I'm here for. The only thing I ask is, I started a website initially a couple years ago to try to get more clients, but like I said, I'm no longer for hire, at dobermandan.com. dobermandan.com. And there's articles up there about direct mail and offline advertising. I also have nothing to sell at that website. I'm merely trying to just pick up the ball where Gary Halbert left off and be the kitchen table entrepreneur's best friend. But I think you'll get more information from the newsletters there about direct mail. And I do have a special gift for you guys. I didn't get time to talk about it, but I also know a lot about space ads, magazine ads, and newspaper ads. And I can guarantee you can probably buy ad space for 10% of rate card. Rate card is what they normally charge. If a magazine tells you they'll sell you an ad for $10,000, I can guarantee more or less, not 100%. You can probably get it for $1,000. And there's a lot of tricks, but most of my tricks are in this little ad script that you can download for free at dobermandan.com/adscript.pdf. So that's just a free little gift for these guys. Okay.
Can we post that on our
Okay.
resources section?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, where is it?
At www.supplementmillionslive.com/resources.
Hi.
Let's take a couple questions and then, okay. Wow, this is you were hot, man. Hold on a second.
Thank you.
Get there with the mic.
When you're mailing to your customer list, can it be simple, just black and white, or do you need glossy brochures and stuff?
You know what? Initially, I would keep it simple. Black and white is fine. You know what? Those are, again, things that whisper and things that scream. Glossy paper, color paper, you know, based on my experience, is not going to make a big difference in your response, especially because you're mailing to your list. They already have an affinity with you. They know who you are. You know, to be honest with you, the list is the most important thing in your direct mail offer. You can scribble your offer on a piece of 3x5 card in crayon, and if it matches the list, if it's what the list wants and it's the right offer, the right list, they're going to buy.
What about customization? Like, dear friend, how much more response have you gotten from dear first name?
It's going to depend. You have to test it, but my experience has been customization in the salutation does increase response, sometimes pretty significantly. What I've found works even better, customization in the headline. When you insert, you know, your customer's name in the headline, here's how, I'm sorry, I forget your last name, but here's how Josh, your last name, can gain blah, blah, blah. And I've seen that increase response up to 30% over just a generic sales letter. Here's how you can gain blah, blah, blah.
That was actually one of the tricks that Gary employed in his infamous letter, right? The coat of arms mailing. Was customization
right.
back in the 60s and 70s.
Before it was even, a computer could even do it.
This is great. Could part of this be that whenever somebody comes to a website, you're going to have to ask for their address and city and state? So that's why so much internet marketers don't do that, because it could impact your opt-in or sign up.
I like what these guys are doing. At least on the Night Trim page, you capture not just the email, but the snail mail address too, right? Enter your information, get your free bottle, okay?
We have 47%.
47% opt-in rate.
Here's a little trick. If you just have a list of emails, you don't have your e-zine subscribers, you know, you don't have their snail mail addresses, a snail mail address, to me, is infinitely more valuable than an email address. Here's how to get the snail mail address. Prepare a special report in paper and send out emails. I've got a special report on you're going to learn these, discover these hot topics, blah, blah, blah. But I can, for various reasons, make up a reason. I can only send it out by a snail mail. So you have to email me your snail mail address. Then from that list, you can capture snail mails and add them to your list that you're going to mail every month. Oh, did you really?
Dan, now that you revealed your secret identity, tell me about the Spanish market. I mean, what do you know about direct mail to that specific population?
I've never tried it. I've just started looking into it. Yeah, those Latinos are so cheap. I'm kidding. I am married to this beautiful woman in the back of the room who's from Colombia, South America. That's why I'm joking about Latinos. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Don't go into the Spanish-speaking market, please. Let me do. No, you know what? I'll if you email me, I'll keep you up to date on what I'm learning about it. I'm just looking into it. A lot of big mailers are having a lot of success with bilingual mailers, English and Spanish, in the same direct mail.
Same envelope.
Yeah.
Do one more question. One more.
Dan, I'm wondering if you've ever used a postcard to your database or your buyers list and then direct them back to the wrong copy sales page.
I have not personally done it. I know people who have, and it's good. It can work. The one thing I warn you about, because the postcard is going to be cheaper to mail, the death of a sale is delay. And in almost all of my direct mail pitches, there is only one response device, because I've tested this. People over the past 50 years have tested this. The phone-only option almost outpulls everything. You can offer 3. Contact us by phone, by mail, by fax. Phone-only will always outpull. The reason why is if you send out a mailing, you can contact, if you're interested, go to this website. That can be put aside sometimes. Oh, okay, there's a website, so I'll check it out later. And delays the death of a sale. With the phone-only option, it's more immediate. But you got to test it too. Don't take that as gospel. You got to test it too. I've had a lot of success with postcards, but I've not done that. The response device has always been call this toll-free number to request your free report.
Dan, this is I have found Dan to be one of the most caring and sharing individuals, and like you can't hire him, and there's nothing you can buy from him right now. So, take advantage. Like he's another one of our stealth operatives that have been operating out there before coming up on stage. So, Dan, fantastic job.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. One more, yeah, really. Just one more quick thing.
While he's doing that, I do want to, while I'm on camera and stuff, to say Dan is full of crap. This letter is awesome. No, it really is. It's really good.
Doberman Dan. It's an old one, it's from 15 years ago. But you can still pull a lot of great information for copywriting, creating offers for today. All the old school marketing still works. Adapt it for today with social media, YouTube. Create a new offer. It's a great side hustle. You can do that in your part-time, even as a truck driver. Set up the offers, test them, find a winner, it's not going to work right out of the gate. It'll take adaptation, play some ads, see what happens, talk to your customers, talk to your leads, call them on the phone. That's how you find out what people really want. estate. It's always a lot nicer on a nice day. Now, talking about side hustles, creating little info product reports is a good way to sell little products of your own. That's how you get started. Little $7 products. They don't take very long to write. The key is to find demand. Certain niches, certain groups of people always want to learn more. Take, for instance, golf. People who own RVs. People who like to go camping or fishing. All those subjects have unlimited topics you can talk about and then write a report about. And then sell your little $7 report. Just make sure it solves a problem. You want them to get a quick win. People buy products that give them a quick win. In your sales copy, you have to tell them what the quick win is and how soon they'll get it. Ideally, within 15 minutes, they'll get their first win after reading your report. You don't have to be an expert. Share what you know. Do a little research. Find an answer. Test it. Tell them your results. Show them how to do it. It can be 5 pages is plenty. If it starts selling, then you upgrade it. Turn it into a book. Put that book up on Amazon for sale. And you create some videos about the book in your little course. And then you create a real course out of it. 5 videos. $49. You want to steadily progress people up your ladder. There aren't too many people that will give you over $100 when they don't know you. So if you're selling to cold markets like consumers, you really need to build your relationship with them so they trust you. When they start trusting you, they'll ask for your advice. You can ask them, if I'm thinking about making this, would you buy it? That's all it takes to get started. You don't even need a website. Put your product on gumroad.com. Put it up on warriorplus.com. It's not as difficult as people think. They're just afraid to get started. Your only task is to not be afraid and just put it out there. It might not sell, it might sell 1 copy. But it gives you data. You don't know what's going to sell until you try to sell it. And it's something you can do on your days off. Set it all up, turn it on, and see what happens. The only customer service is going to be email, so you just need a laptop, computer, and internet service. Give it a shot. The people that make money online are product creators, not product buyers. do some things. It was a really good training at the beginning of the run. Might be old, but it's full of useful advice. Be sure to subscribe, like the video. I put out new videos twice a week. We made it, guys. Thanks for coming along for the ride. We're here at the rail yard. I will see you in the next video.